questions, some of them unanswered and some of them unanswerable. That's my takeaway from today's therapy session. And who says that men can't find their balls again? We certainly can. On my way back, I pass a golf course and these two were hiding in the undergrowth. So I took not but one, but two concealed golf balls that I thought I'd take back as a souvenir. Ooh, squirrel. And here's the thing, there are certain phrases that are etched into our minds, and one of them is that fortune favours the brave. But my blog post today was titled with, I think, an equally useful phrase, that success belongs to the focused. Nice little alliteration there. And you have to know what you're aiming at. And the reason that my relationship failed with my ex-boyfriend was because neither of us was really in it, because we didn't know what was going on. There was no togetherness. There was no, as many people say now, there was no there. He wouldn't allow me into his physical flat. He wouldn't allow me into his heart. He wouldn't make space for me like I made space for him. And what I realise is that I've actually been obsessively attached to people who weren't interested. and it's a very hard thing to accept. And after the first breakup of many, I remember feeling so grief-ridden that I did in fact question my own existence. Nothing made sense. And to that point in my life, and well, it was a feeling that I didn't quite comprehend how bad I could actually feel. I just remember feeling like my world was completely over. But one of the things that I'm talking about a lot at the moment is trust, and I realise that I have extraordinary difficulty in trusting myself. And this is the next stage of my therapeutic inquiry, frankly, of, well, why don't I trust myself? Why don't I have more belief in myself? And I'm actually very excited to really explore this for myself, with my therapist, with a handful of very, very good close friends that I'm developing relationships with. It's very comforting to actually find people who are genuinely there to support and encourage and openly discuss things, that we share these struggles and this fascination in common. And I feel blessed. But the reason that these blessings are in my life is because I'm willing to actually hone in and sit in the discomfort of what's going on. And this morning I thought that my blog post was just going to be titled Crying, but the phrase success belongs to the sharp, which was in fact what it was, sharp focus on not only what you want, but how to actually achieve it. And I want to do things in a kind and peaceful way, and I am questioning, how possible that actually is. I do believe it is possible, and maybe it'll take a little bit longer than it might take for somebody being a hustle bro. But I don't like desperation. I don't like obsession. What I like is connection and passion, and experiencing each stage authentically. Because what's gotten me into trouble with various relationships is rushing in and going in, not just head first, but whole body first, ultra immersion, and repeated attempts to make things work that basically were dead on arrival. But lessons learned. This is how we learn, is through experience. And the more that you really sit in what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and do some proper analysis and inquiry, well, I think that's where the gold really, really lies. It was said that the whole of the Lord of the Rings trilogy could have been concluded by handing the Ring of Power to the eagles for them just to fly it into Mount Doom. But well, then there wouldn't have been Lothlorien, there wouldn't have been Rivendell, there wouldn't have been all of the adventure and the relationships that were nurtured and nourished. We have to go through it all, and sometimes it can be enormously overwhelming, but it's worth it, I believe, for the adventure. And even today, in just making a few tweaks to my usual routine of, you know, how long it would take me to walk over to Bakewell, where I would go for lunch. It doesn't have to be really dramatic things, but allowing yourself to live life flexibly, of going where your feet take you with an inquisitiveness and a sense of adventure. I think that can make life more interesting and make you more resilient. I talk about resilience a lot, and I know that I am a deeply resilient man, and I want to bring that to my therapeutic practice with my therapist and with you, whoever's watching this, future clients. I want to help as many people as possible, but I know that I have to walk the walk and practice what I preach, and I'm grateful for all of it, but understand that it does take time to figure out these emotional and psychological hang-ups. But I always like to record these videos on the way back from my therapy sessions as I climb the hill to the top to see the fantastic view and to really appreciate the view from the top, knowing that I'm making progress all the time. And I wish the same for you, my friend watching this. You aren't alone. There are many of us out there, and I know that we can all help each other, which is why I'm excited to be speaking with my good friends from Twitter, Corey and Riley, all the Y's. I'll be Marty, Corey, Riley and Marty, for another transformational and beautiful conversation where we're all genuinely supporting each other and helping each other out and learning magical and mysterious and wonderful new things. We live in a good world, people, and we have the opportunity of being good in it. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you again tomorrow.